Shalom. Today I'd like to show you a Bible code about human DNA and a discovery that was made way back in 1986. DNA is the genetic information inside each cell of the body, and it is responsible for the development and function of an organism. Each strand of human DNA is about 3 billion letters in length. It is like an archive or library of information encoded in every cell of the body. DNA molecules allow this information to be passed from one generation to the next. Using a very strong microscope, we can see that DNA is a double helix and looks like a twisting ladder. Here is the access term, Yahweh, in DNA. And it's found at a skip of 5,776 letters and spans from Genesis chapter 3 to Exodus 12. Here we have the phrase, the gene code. Here is the gene, and right beside it is code. And here in the black lettering, we have the genome going down diagonal. Archive is here in the burgundy lettering going to the right, and magnification is in this green going to the left. In 1986, Dr. Israel Rubinstein, a professor of chemistry in Israel, made the discovery of sulfuric bridges, also called disulfide bonds, within our DNA. According to his research, these bridges keep the DNA strands from coming apart. They appear in the following manner. Every 10 nucleic acids, there is a bridge, then every 5 acids, another bridge, then every 6 acids, a bridge, and again every 5 acids, a bridge. What is the meaning of the numbers 10, 5, 6, 5? They are the numerical digits for the Hebrew letters of Yahuwah, the name for God in the Hebrew Bible, Yod, He, Vav, He. In the first chapter of Genesis, we are told that Yahuwah, the Creator, created man in his own image and likeness. Then Elohim said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." So Elohim created mankind in his own image. In the image of Elohim he created them. Male and female he created them. And the word creator is here in the green, and it's the same skip as our access term. Twice we have the word image, and it's here in the teal going up diagonal. And it's also here in the teal going to the right. And crossing over it in the light teal is the word likeness. So likeness is crossing over image. Twice in the plain text of Scripture we have the word for men or people, here in the peach. And twice we have woman or wife, and it's here in the first row in our matrix. And it's also here at the same skip as our access term. It's like Yahuwah has put his signature or mark in every cell of our bodies. In a way, it shows that we ultimately belong to him, since he is our loving heavenly creator. The word heavenly is in this yellow color going to the left. Ownership is in the blue going up diagonal. And love is here in the pink, going to the right. When Yeshua was asked if it was right to pay taxes to Caesar, he told them, "Bring me a denarius that I may see it." So they brought it, and he said to them, "Whose image and inscription is this?" They said to him, "Caesar's." And Yeshua answered and said to them, "Render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's." And they marveled at him. Whose image and inscription is in us, in our very DNA? Yahuwah's. So we should render ourselves unto him in humility, praise, and thanksgiving. After telling us in Genesis chapter 1 that we were created in his image and likeness, Yahuwah then told Adam and Eve to be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth. Yahuwah's initial intentional design was to match a man to a woman to be married to each other. The act of procreation could now occur because the man had the seed and the woman had the egg. After conception occurs, a pregnancy of 9 months would follow, and then the birth of a baby would result. This baby has inborn traits of both the mother and the father, but it has his or her own unique code of DNA. The word for matching or pairing is here in the gold lettering, going to the right. The word marry is in the mauve coloring, going up diagonal. Conception is in the orange color, going across to the left and crossing over the access term. The word gestation or pregnancy is in this orange, going to the left. Born is here in this pink, going down 4 letters. And then overlapping it is the word birth in the blue, going down 4 letters. Inborn is here in the blue, going down diagonal. Ultimately, all of us are descendants of Adam and Eve, forming a universal brotherhood of mankind. We are all members of the same race, the human race. The word brotherhood is here in the blue, going to the left. The word human is in this peach color, crossing over the access term. Since the discovery of the DNA double helix in 1953 by Watson and Crick, scientists have learned much about the microscopic makeup of mankind. There has been a lot of genetic engineering going on in the last several decades. The word engineering is here in the purple, going up vertically. It is interesting to note that the Bible begins with a marriage and it ends with a marriage. And it's no coincidence that the first miracle Yeshua ever did was at a marriage. Marriage is important to the Creator. As I said, Adam and Eve were the first married couple. This first line of the matrix is from Genesis chapter 3, verses 6 to 8, and it's about Adam and Eve. This passage of Scripture is talking about the first sin of the human race, which was eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The second line here is from Genesis chapter 7, verses 21 to 23, and it talks about the destruction of the worldwide flood and the death of every living creature on the face of the earth. The only survivors were Noah and his wife, their 3 sons, and their wives. According to the Bible, all the people of the world have descended from one of Noah's 3 sons, Shem, Ham, or Japheth. The letter skip of this Bible code matrix is 5,776. That is the Gregorian year of 2016, and that's the year that researcher Nathaniel Jeanson released information showing that human DNA can be traced to one of 3 different lineages. That would line up perfectly with the Shem, Ham, and Japheth story of the Bible. I'll put a link to that research in the description box. 5 of the Bible verses running through this table have the word wife or husband in them, and that's interesting in and of itself. I said earlier that the Bible begins with a marriage and ends with a marriage. In the book of Revelation, the last book of the Bible, chapter 21, verse 2, talks about the New Jerusalem, which is described as a bride. Then I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Yeshua will be the bridegroom, and believers will be his bride. Dimensions are given for the New Jerusalem. Many believe this city will be in the shape of a cube. Others believe that it may be in the shape of a pyramid or a tetrahedron, having 4 base corners. That word, tetrahedron, is actually here in the table, and it crosses over the access term. It's in the purple color, going to the right. The New Jerusalem has 12 gates, we're told, named after the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. 3 times here we have the children of Israel in the plain text of Scripture. In Scripture, Israel is also referred to as the wife of Yahuwah. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 5 says, "For your Maker is your husband, the Lord of hosts is his name, and your Redeemer is the Holy One of Israel. He is called the Elohim of the whole earth." One other interesting word that is in this table is enzyme, and it's in this green color, crossing over the access term. An enzyme is a protein, which is another amazing type of cell found within our bodies. In closing, I'd like to read from Colossians chapter 1, verses 15 to 17. "The Son is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities. All things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together." So, all things from the planets and galaxies right down to the cells in our bodies and our DNA are held together by Yeshua, the image of the invisible Creator, Yahuwah. And that concludes our presentation for today. Thank you for watching. Shalom.